Hello and welcome to the show. I am here on Forza Horizon 4 today building another vehicle to go rallying. It is something that is not exactly suited to this. It might be one of the most unsuited cars to have got around our beach stage. We have the Autounion Type D, a very impressive vehicle, an incredible vehicle for the speeds it could achieve, but on sand, I don't know. I fear it might have some trouble. I fear it might have some trouble with the old sand. It is also going to be lacking in terms of the PI, I would imagine, because I don't think the engine can get all that much power. We can't swap the engine out in this car. We can at least make it all-wheel drive, which is important for this series. It will make it a little bit heavier. I can't really do too much about that. We can, of course, have the vehicle on some nice rally tyres. They aren't going to be the largest, though, at all, actually. 205s at the front is very small, and at the rear I'm hoping a little bit bigger. Yeah, 245s, not great. So, fairly small tyres all around. It's not exactly, it's not light, but it's also not horrendously heavy. I'm betting I can't do anything about the weight. We also can't put any aero on the car. I think we're pretty going to be good to just put every upgrade that we can pretty much in here. I doubt there's going to be, there's not going to be an issue with PI and brakes. Yeah, we can get upgraded brakes, which is going to be useful and everything. We do get rally suspension at least. That's good. It's the only suspension that you can change the car to. That's gonna hopefully be helpful and everything. And then we're onto the engine, which doesn't have much in terms of upgradable options. Yeah, can't really do too much to it. We got to, what we got up to, maybe 600 horsepower-ish at best. Not even that, 550 horsepower is what we're going to do. 561 at the end of all that. We are quite low PI on this. I mean, power to weight ratio is not great. We've had cars run with 500 horsepower and be fast, but they have tended to be considerably lighter and, well, considerably more modern. You know, better chassis, etc. Better chassis suited for rallying and so on. I suspect the Autounion is going to have trouble here. I do suspect our Type D is going to have some issues here. I could be wrong. I've been wrong about the cars in the past. We are a lot of PI down, though. And, well, it's a classic Grand Prix car. Who knows, though? Maybe it'll surprise us. That's what we hope for. So, here we are on the start line with the Autounion. I'm going to get 3 runs through our rally stage to try and go as fast as possible, although truth be told, the Mustang Boss that leads the table with a 156.7 is going to be a little, I think, out of reach. We're potentially going to be fighting with the Bentley, the 8 litre, around a 203.8. It's the sort of time I'm more likely to, I mean, realistically, that's kind of best case scenario in many ways. If we can fight with that, we are, as I said, a long way down in terms of PI. The Bentley had a lot of power, but not a lot of control. I'm hoping this might be a little bit better to drive, although we are going to have to wait and see on that front. I mean, it isn't actually the worst handling car imaginable. I think that's more potentially just because it's not going immensely fast at this current moment in time. Around the hairpin we go. Yeah, that's not too bad. I did think it might struggle more with turning to some of these corners. Oh god. Yeah, I did think we might have more issues getting the front end to cooperate than we currently are. Which, yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a surprise. But I do think overall we are just not going to be going immensely fast. I'm not sure whether like these barriers affect open wheel cars worse than sort of normal cars. You can kind of get your wheel caught on them. Don't know whether it slows us down more than if it just gets pinged clear by a bumper. I don't think so. We're very wide through there. As I'm trying to get greedy. What is our acceleration like down this back straight? Okay, admittedly I did leave that in second. It's probably gone up to third. Gear ratio is very long in this car. I mean, as long as there's a gear ratio where something's working, it doesn't really matter too much. We are actually carrying, that's decent speed on the beach through there. That's actually surprisingly good speed. We've driven worse. We have driven worse on the beach. Come on. There we go. We're fine. We make it around that corner. Now we are down the sandy snake section, weaving between the dunes. kind of used the dunes a little bit to help turn the car. I didn't really need to do all that much with this. Now the big jump. What are we going to see from the Autounion as it flies through the air? I mean, it'll make the jump no problem. It's how does it land it? It actually lands it no issue. I mean, it is not the fastest accelerating car we have had around here. It's not a bad first run, mind. It's a ghostly Audi. The ghost of Audi future, I guess, going on there. 2034. We will beat the Bentley. So that's not a bad first run from the car. I think there is a bit more speed in that vehicle. Not sure a sub 2 minute though. On to our second run. There might be a little bit of time to be made with the car. There was no sort of big glaring errors that time around, so yeah, if we keep things nice and tidy, we might be able to make up a little bit of time in a few of the corners. It's actually, you know, not that bad of a vehicle out here. It's not as uncomfortable driving around here as you might expect. I mean, its big issue is that it just doesn't have the power. It is just so down on horsepower compared to a lot of the... Also down on horsepower and heavier than a lot of the cars that have gone very quickly around here. I mean, the top running cars are running sort of 700-800 horsepower and are lighter than this with bigger tyres, etc. It's always going to be a problem when you're, I think that's 78 PI down on the top of the class. It's always going to struggle to compete. However, for what you would expect to be the most uncomfortable car in the existence, or one of the most uncomfortable cars in existence, tackling a beach rally stage, is actually doing very, very well indeed. So we'll now try and slot the car down through here. There we go. Nicely does it. Little wide mid-corner. Just kind of struggled getting going a touch. Now, let's not go as wide as we did last time. Actually get the power down as we head onto our back straight. Will we crack 100 miles an hour down here? No, not a chance. In some ways, might have been better leaving that in second, because time wasted changing gear, we weren't actually as fast as last time around. But yeah, it's like out here, I'm surprised this time actually a bit too sideways. We were holding it above 80 miles an hour around there, and there have been a few cars that have not been able to do that. Cars that you might expect to be pretty good. We slid a little bit too much maybe that time. Although we got a half-decent run up the hill, which is always important. Try and get the change of direction nicely down here, just about at least. Then around the hairpin we go. Use what power we do have in the Autounion up towards our big jump. I don't actually know if I really wanted to go up to third again through there. Now we are onto the tarmac. We can run towards the finish line. It's going to be quicker again. We got a little bit faster. We're actually not all that far off the MGB as we do a 202.8. Actually 0.2 of a second down on the MGB. That's, again, not bad for a car with such low PI. This is our final run with the Autounion. I wasn't expecting to say I'd need just 0.2 of a second to beat the MGB. However, that is the situation that we find ourselves in. Might just be doable if I can get everything neat and tidy, but it's a big if we can manage all of that. I think perhaps the a slight lack of power that this car has, the lack of acceleration, and I mean it's a lack of wheel spin as well. We are getting the car through these corners with very little in the way of sliding around. A couple of places it can do, but a lot less than we've seen from other cars. Will potentially make it a little bit easier to manage. It's a little bit calmer throughout pretty much the entire run, which is perhaps how we are finding sometimes. I mean, overall, of course, the lack of acceleration is going to hurt it massively in a lot of this stage. However, as I said, for what should be a really wonky car to drive, things are going surprisingly okay as we filter it through there. Now, get it stopped here, get it changed direction down this part. Now, last time around we were pretty good actually all through here. Let's see if we can continue that again. Little brushes on the fence, that's fine. Okay, we can get away with that. Maybe a little too sideways actually through there. I was trying to get the car turned on a slightly wonky line. That's okay. We will get it stopped. Oh, we're pushing it harder this time. Pushing it harder. as the back end just lets go ever so slightly. Oh, I've actually driven that in a bit too... No, driven it in too deep on the way in, however, it does mean we might be able to get away with a nice run on the exit. It's... Yeah, there are a few different lines through that wide corner, and depending on what I've actually done on the entrance, you can kind of get away with a few of the different ones and still be making half-decent time through that section. Right, around the hairpin we go for the final time. Come on, Autounion. You can do this. You've got this as we head up towards the big jump. I'm probably not going to bother changing gear because it's just going to lose time doing it because it's just before we hit the jump. There we go. We are up through the archway. Jump our way down towards the finish line. Is it going to be faster? No, it's not. Three very similar runs. 3 very similar runs, in fact, with the Autounion 203.1. Not quite good enough on that final. I think it's the first vehicle, actually, not to have its fastest run on the final of the runs. Yeah, I'm not quite sure where I lost a bit of time in that. It seemed like a decent enough run to me, but yeah, over we were already talking about second pretty much between all 3 runs. It's easy to lose that. It's easy to lose that on the beach. All it takes is just running a smidge wide somewhere, and you lose that bit of momentum. In a car like this, it doesn't really have the power to get away with too much. Yeah, it's easy to lose a smidge of time here and there, and that'll add up. Still, I mean, I am surprised by this car. In all honesty, I'm surprised. We certainly don't go last. In fact, we go into a 12th place. We're only, as I said, we're only 2/10 down on the MGB. We beat the Bentley 8 litre. We beat the Rallycross Fiesta. I might have to rerun the Fiesta at some point. Beat the Unimog, the Morgan 3-wheeler, and so on. Not even that far down on the Volvo 242. Considering that PI down, we are just simply PI down on the other cars. This is not a bad showing from the Autounion. Considering how, well, wonky the car is in terms of it's a classic Grand Prix car. That's, yeah, a better showing than I would probably have expected from said vehicle, but there we go. That, though, is going to be it for this episode. As ever, if you have a request for cars you would like to see run through that stage, then you can submit them in the comments section. The most liked comment, if I can get the car and it all fits within the rules, etc. That shall be run next time out. Who knows what I'm going to be tasked with rallying. That, though, will be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.